Hello everyone, my name is Aastha. I welcome you all to our classes for IEO class 5th. Today is our 19th class in the series and we will be doing the topic of comprehension, the reading comprehension. For reading comprehension, we will have to, read the passage, for which we will be discussing a few guidelines on how you can, enhance your reading, in the sense how to, mark the important words and etc. We will be understanding those tips and guidelines, and then we will be doing the questions one by one. Alright, so let's get started.
So first of all, let's start with understanding what exactly is comprehension. Now, comprehension means the ability to understand what you listen or what you read. It is an exercise which aims at improving or testing one's ability to understand a language. Now, comprehension is nothing but your simple ability to understand what you have listened to or what you have read. Now, जो भी आप सुन रहे हैं या फिर पढ़ रहे हैं, in this case we will be doing a reading comprehension. तो आप जो भी पढ़ रहे हैं उसको आपको जितना आपको समझ आया है, जितना आपको comprehend हुआ है, that is basically comprehension. And this exercise, ये जो comprehension की exercise है, how does it help? It aims at improving or testing one's ability to understand a language. Now, जो भी आप read कर रहे हैं, English, that is in English language. So this will help in testing, first of all, and also improving. Because as I have told you time and again that you should involve English in your life. मतलब आपको इंग्लिश अगर आप बोलना शुरू कर देंगे, पढ़ना शुरू कर देंगे, लिखना शुरू कर देंगे, then these grammar topics जो हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं, they will come so naturally to you, and you won't really have to memorize the rules or anything. You will just have to understand. You will just have to read and write and speak and listen to, and everything will come to you very naturally. Alright, so जो comprehension की जो exercise है, this is just your ability to understand what you have, what you listen or what you read, and this will overall help in overall improvement and testing of your understanding of the English language. Alright. Now we have understood what comprehension is, and now we will move on towards कि जो facets होते हैं अलग-अलग comprehension में वो क्या-क्या होंगे. First of all, now you will be given, just a minute, yes. So first of all, you will be given either any passage or any paragraph or a poem. Right, you will be given any of these, either a passage or one paragraph or a poem. Poem is the poetry, paragraph makes single paragraph, a passage which involving a number of paragraphs. Right, and then these paragraphs, second point, these paragraphs, they show the idea or mood concerning various issues and the solutions that the author provides. ये जो paragraphs होंगे, इसमें एक central idea होगा, एक central mood होगा, जिसमें अलग-अलग तरीके के जो issues हैं, उनके जो solutions हैं, they will be provided by the author. Alright. ये जैसे-जैसे हम comprehension करेंगे, वैसे-वैसे आपको समझ आएगा when we will be doing the examples. And third thing, your main task will be to answer the questions asked from the passage, which means what you will have to do is कि जो आपने paragraph या passage या poem पढ़ा है, उसका जो आपने second point के हिसाब से जो आपने idea, mood, issues, solutions जो भी आपने पढ़े हैं, उसमें से आपने जो भी understand किया है, उसको आप अप्लाई कहाँ करेंगे? अप्लाई करेंगे जो क्वेश्चंस होंगे. Your main task will be to answer the questions asked from the passage. All right. So this will be your overall approach, your overall strategy for solving the comprehension. Okay, now here we are talking about the requisite skills. Requisite skills का मतलब होता है जो basic skills हमें चाहिए for understanding, for understanding and for doing the reading comprehension. First is the logical ability. Logical ability कैसे कि जो भी situation हो रही है, जो भी sentences, जो भी आपको paragraph दिया है, जो भी आइडिया थीम बताया है या कोई इशू बताया है, उसको लॉजिक के हिसाब से आपको उसकी क्रोनोलॉजी समझना एंड उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन जो है वो लॉजिकली करना. सिमिलरली सेकंड इज द एबिलिटी टू इन्फर. द एबिलिटी टू इन्फर मतलब एक इन्फरेंस ड्रॉ करना. जैसे अगर आपको जो भी सिचुएशन दी है, जो भी स्टोरी दी है या पोम दी है, उसमें से आपको कंक्लूजन क्या ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. ऑलराइट. सिमिलरली थर्ड विल बी द एनालिटिकल एबिलिटी. नाउ एनालिटिकल एबिलिटी होती है बेसिकली किसी भी इशू की, किसी भी सिनेरियो की, हम उसका जो भी उसमें पॉजिटिव था या जो भी उसमें नेगेटिव था, एक उसकी क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस करना. तो we need the analytical ability. Right. Then we have reasoning ability. Reasoning, logic and reasoning, these abilities, these skills, they go hand in hand. कि आप लॉजिक लगा पाओगे तभी आप उसकी रीजंस अंडरस्टैंड कर पाएंगे और उसके रीजंस इन्फर कर पाएंगे. ऑलराइट. Then another one is the ability to understand the main motive or the idea of the author. कि जो comprehension है, जो passage, paragraph या poem है, उसमें main idea, main motive क्या है author का. Alright. Similarly, we have reading speed. Now, suppose if you are given a 10-line paragraph and if you take 10 minutes only to read that paragraph, then your reading speed is very slow, which means कि आप क्वेश्चंस टाइम पे खत्म नहीं कर पाएंगे. ऑलराइट. सो ये कॉम्प्रिहेंशन जो होता है ये आपकी रीडिंग स्पीड भी टेस्ट करता है. सिमिलरली वोकैबुलरी पार्ट. वोकैबुलरी में हमने शुरू में क्या किया था? हमने 3 चीजें समझी थी. सिनोनिम्स, एंटोनिम्स एंड होमोफोन्स. प्लस क्या क्या आएगा इसमें वोकैबुलरी में? और इसमें और भी आएंगी चीजें विच विल बी स्पेलिंग्स. ठीक है, स्पेलिंग्स. एंड देन दिस विल आल्सो इंक्लूड आवर वन वर्ड सब्स्टिट्यूशन. राइट. नाउ वोकैबुलरी में बहुत सारी चीजें आती हैं. हमने पढ़ा स्पेलिंग्स आ गए, वन वर्ड सब्स्टिट्यूशन आ गया, होमोफोन्स आ गया, सिनोनिम्स आ गया, एंटोनिम्स आ गया. So you see, now vocabulary is not just कि आपको word meanings पता हो, but vocabulary में हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि हमने हमारे लिए proverbs and idioms are also some sort of vocabulary only. क्योंकि ये आपकी जो English के various words हैं, various phrases हैं, उसी की जो आपकी knowledge होती है, जो आपकी understanding होती है, उसी को हम simply vocabulary कहते हैं. तो बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स आपके टेस्ट होते हैं रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में ही. ऑलराइट. सो these were the overall skills which are required and the skills जो हमारी टेस्ट भी होंगी किस चीज में? रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में. ऑलराइट. सो नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन. Alright, so here I have given you a few tips. Now, a few tips to understand and to go about the reading comprehension. Now, first important thing is to read the passage as fast as possible. Now, why am I saying that we should read the passage as fast as possible? It is because now it's such a long passage that will be given. बाकी questions भी क्या होता है? Suppose synonyms निकालना है, आपने आपको synonym दिया and the word is happy. You quickly read the 4 options, you decide which is the synonym of happy and you answer that. But in the passage में क्या होता है, जब तक आप पूरा passage नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो आप उसका एक भी question answer नहीं कर पाएंगे. You have to read the complete passage for answering the questions. So it is very important to read the passage as fast as possible. और एक पैसेज का एक क्वेश्चन तो नहीं होता, एक पैसेज में there will be I think 3 to 4 questions at least, and so एक पैसेज के हिसाब से you will be solving 4 to 5 questions. So you have to be very careful and you have to read the passage as fast as possible so that आप उसे जल्दी से पढ़ें, जल्दी से समझें और questions कर पाएं solve. And the second thing is get involved with the paragraph to understand it. Get involved with the paragraph. अब यहाँ get involved with the paragraph मैं क्यों बोल रही हूँ, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Get involved with the paragraph means कि जो भी हम थीम पढ़ रहे हैं ना, जो भी हम क्या कहते हैं, जो भी पैसेज का सेंट्रल आइडिया है, सेंट्रल मूड है या फिर जो भी इशू है, तो हम उसके साथ इन्वॉल्व हो जाओ. मतलब यू नो ट्राई स्टार्ट टू इमेजिन कि आपके साथ ही वो पैराग्राफ हो रहा है या फिर जो भी स्टोरी है, यू आर इन दैट पैराग्राफ. क्योंकि उससे आप ये जब इन्वॉल्व हो जाओगे तो आप उसमें अपनी लॉजिक भी लगाने लग जाओगे, आप उसमें अपना रीजनिंग भी लगाने लग जाओगे. ऑलराइट, उसको एनालाइज भी करना शुरू कर दोगे कि ये पॉजिटिव है, ये नेगेटिव है. तो इसीलिए कहते हैं गेट इन्वॉल्व विद द पैराग्राफ. जैसे मैं आपसे कहती हूँ कि यू शुड इन्वॉल्व इंग्लिश इन योर लाइफ, उस तरीके से गेटिंग इन्वॉल्व विद द पैराग्राफ. ऑलराइट, नाउ द थर्ड थिंग इज underline the important lines or parts of the passage to answer the questions. Underline the important parts or lines to answer the questions. It will also help to understand the main idea of the passage or the tone or the mood of the author. Now जो important parts हैं, जैसे किसी चीज का कोई benefit है, या फिर किसी चीज की कोई लिमिटेशन है या फिर कोई टर्निंग पॉइंट है, जो भी आपको इम्पोर्टेंट लगे यू शुड अंडरलाइन दैट. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप पूरा पैसेज ही अंडरलाइन कर दो, जो भी आपको इम्पोर्टेंट लगे वो वर्ड अंडरलाइन कर दिया बस, या फिर कोई लाइन इम्पोर्टेंट लगी उसे अंडरलाइन कर दिया, उसको स्टार मार्क कर दिया, उस तरीके से. So this what will this do? It will also help to understand the main idea. जो सेंट्रल थीम होगा ना पैसेज का, that this will help you in understanding that, and the tone or the mood of the author as well. So ये जो आप underline करोगे कि उसमें the author is angry or the author is sad or they're happy, they're trying to tell you something, और tone मतलब जैसे किस सेंस में वो आपको कहना चाह रहे हैं, कि आपसे वो कोई अपील कर रहे हैं या कोई इंस्पायर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं किसी चीज के लिए, या एनालाइज करने के लिए मोटिवेट कर रहे हैं. तो जो इम्पोर्टेंट वर्ड्स से आपको दिस विल हेल्प यू इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट. ऑलराइट, सो दीज वर दी क्विक फ्यू ओवरऑल टिप्स जिसमें आपको पैसेज जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ना है. जल्दी जल्दी का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप बिल्कुल समझो ही ना. as fast as possible का मतलब ये भी है कि आपको जो आपकी स्पीड जिसमें आपको समझ आए उतना फास्ट, as fast as possible. ये नहीं कि सबसे तेज पढ़ लिया पर आंसर गलत दे दिया, then that will be of no use, right? And second is getting involved with the paragraph to understand it. आप उसे feel करेंगे, आप इसे express करेंगे, involve हो जाएंगे, तो आपको अच्छे से समझ आएगा, अच्छे से logic लगा पाएंगे आप. Then underline the important lines or parts of the passage to answer the questions, and it will also help to understand the main idea, the central idea, or the tone or the mood of the author. Alright, so these were the few quick overall tips. Now let's move on to the next slide. Alright, so now is the time for our quiz. We shall be starting with the quiz now, and in the quiz हम किस format में लेंगे कि पहले हम एक reading comprehension की slide आएगी जिसमें हम reading comprehension पढ़ेंगे. मैं आपको समझाऊंगी कि reading comprehension में क्या है. उसके बाद from the next slide onwards उसी reading comprehension के जितने भी questions हैं वो per question you will get 1 minute जैसे ही हमारे बाकी questions में होता है. Reading comprehension में additional बस ये है कि हर reading comprehension को I will first explain it to you completely. उसमें अगर कोई नए word meanings हो या कुछ understanding हो, उसकी analysis हो, तो we will do that in the first slide, and then questions के लिए this will be followed by the similar exercise जो पहले होती आई है. Alright, let's start. Now for every question you will be given 1 minute. 1 minute, 60 seconds you will be given as per the timer. Now why am I giving you 60 seconds? Because for every IEO question you are given more than 60 seconds in the final exam. तो मैंने safe side पे आपको 1 minute दिया है. अब इसमें दो category of students होंगे. One category जो less than 1 minute में अपने question solve कर लेते हैं. तो जब ये कर लेते हैं तो you should तो अगर आपने जल्दी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिया तो आप फास्ट फॉरवर्ड करके आप आंसर देख लीजिए. पर वो कैटेगरी जो स्टूडेंट्स ये 1 मिनट में आंसर नहीं दे पाते हैं, तो आपको डिसहार्टन नहीं होना है, दुखी नहीं होना है. आप पॉज करें और पहले अपना आंसर दें. जो भी आंसर आपको लग रहा है सही है वो आप आंसर लिखें, उसके बाद ही आप आंसर देखें. ये यू शुड मेक श्योर कि आप कोई भी क्वेश्चन स्किप ना करें, आप सबके आंसर दें, चाहे वो सही हो या गलत, वो सेकेंडरी चीज है. मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इज कि आप पहले आंसर दें. ओके, सो एंड फॉर एवरी करेक्ट आंसर यू गिव योरसेल्फ 10 points, and for every incorrect answer no points. Why no points? Because IEO में there is no negative marking. आपका आंसर चाहे गलत हो या फिर आपने आंसर नहीं किया हो तो आपको 0 ही मिलेगा. ओके, सो इट इज बेटर कि सपोज अगर आप किसी क्वेश्चन में कंफ्यूजन है कि इसका आंसर क्या होगा, नहीं समझ आ रहा, तो आपने उसे छोड़ना नहीं है, आपने उसको आंसर करना है. और चाहे आपको लग रहा हो कि शायद ये आंसर सही हो सकता है बी या सी से, तो आप उसे पक्का पॉइंट आउट करके आओ, मतलब उसे OMR शीट पे मार्क करके आओ, because there are chances कि वो आपका आंसर सही हो जाए. Alright, so let's start. Alright, so now let's start with the questions on comprehension. What we are going to do is we will first be reading the comprehension. I will explain the comprehension to you, then we will take one by one the questions जैसे हम करते हैं बाकी topics. Okay, so let's start. The first comprehension, the cricket and the ants. Here, it was summer and the cricket sat on an ear of wheat, happily singing and enjoying the sun. So what was the time? The scenery was of summer, and the cricket, what was the cricket doing? It sat on an ear of wheat. What's an ear of wheat? You see, now there's this farm hota hai, farm mein there's the crop of wheat. So wheat ke, an ear, the tip of it. The cricket was sitting and it was enjoying himself, singing and enjoying the sun. Then what happens? He felt extremely sorry for the ants, who worked ceaselessly looking for grains of wheat to take back to their home. He felt extremely sorry. Now he was feeling so bad for the ants. Why? Who worked ceaselessly looking for grains of wheat. Now these ants, they worked tirelessly. Ceaselessly means, without stopping. It's an adverb. They worked ceaselessly looking for grains of wheat. Ek dana wheat ka they used to take back to their home. So the cricket felt very bad for them. Then, poor things, thought the cricket. They really do not know how to enjoy life. So now cricket is thinking about the ants and he thinks to himself, oh my god, what such poor things. Poor things मतलब बिचारी ants. They really do not know how to enjoy life. मतलब इनको तो पता ही नहीं है कि हम life कैसे enjoy करनी चाहिए. But soon the winter came and the carefree cricket had no food at all to eat. So soon what happened? Winter came. And when winter came, the carefree cricket, मतलब cricket जो एकदम आजाद घूमता था without a care in the world, happily, now he has no food at all to eat. Okay. He would surely have died of hunger if it had not been for the generous ants who gave him some of their grain to eat. Alright, now you see what happened. Soon the winter came. जब सर्दियाँ आ गई, so this cricket, इसने तो कोई storage नहीं कर रखी थी, so he had no food to eat. Then he would have surely died of hunger. मतलब he would definitely have died because he was so hungry if it had not been for the generous ants. Means if these generous ants, these kind-hearted ants, if they had not given him any grains to eat and if they would have not helped him, then this cricket would have died of hunger. Then how do we end with this? Always save something for use in a time of unforeseen difficulty or need. This is the moral of the story, that we should always save something for our unforeseen difficulties or needs. We don't know what sort of a time comes upon us, so we should always make some savings. Alright, so that's it for this passage of cricket and ants. Now we'll move on to the questions. Here, what was the cricket doing during summer? He was sitting and having fun, he felt sorry, or none of these. Here the correct answer is, let's see, it was summer and the cricket sat on an ear of wheat, here, happily singing and enjoying the sun. So what was he doing? He was B. He was sitting and having fun, right? feel sorry for the ants because A. They were working continuously. B. They were not working. C. They were looking at the wheat. D. None of these. Let's see. He felt extremely sorry for the ants who worked ceaselessly looking for grains of wheat. So they worked tirelessly. They were continuously working. Alright, ceaselessly. Remember I told you without stopping, continuously working. So A. They were working continuously. Next question, what happened to the cricket in the winter? A. He died of hunger. B. He had no food to eat. C. He became thoughtless. Or D. None of these. Let's see what happens in winter. But soon the winter came and the carefree cricket had no food at all to eat. Right? So winter came and he had no food at all to eat. So the correct answer is B. He had no food to eat. Now the next question says, how did the ants help him? They gave him shelter, water, grains to eat. What did they give him? Let's see. He would surely have died of hunger if it had not been for the generous ants who gave him some of their grain to eat. So what did the ants give him? They gave him grains to eat. All right. What is the moral of the story? Wait for the winter season, save for the days of need, Rainy days can come any day, or D, none of these. Here the correct answer is B, save for the days of need. Because you see here the moral is also telling us always save something for use in time of unforeseen difficulty or need. We don't know, there might be some difficulty that may drop on us and we won't have any savings, so we should save for those days. Alright. Now we move on to the next passage. This is titled The Frog and the Ox. Let's see. A frog decided to become as big as an ox. Okay. So a frog suddenly one day had this decision that, he would become as big as an ox and he would try to maybe copy the ox or something like that. So he was in awe of an ox and started to try to be like one. Let's see. So it began to breathe in, and every time it swallowed more air, it did in fact become bigger. But it soon began to tire of its efforts. Here you see, so it began to breathe in, and every time it swallowed more air, it did in fact become bigger. So when the frog was swallowing air, so he thought, his chest was puffing up. So when you swallow a lot of air, your chest puffs up. So he was thinking that he is becoming bigger. But it soon began to tire of its efforts. But this exercise of, swallowing so much air at once, this began to tire him. Then he says, "Am I big enough yet?" It asked hopefully to its many watching companions. So there were a lot of companions for him, these companions, and he asks him, "Am I big enough yet?" Because he wanted to become what? As big as an ox. So he says, "Am I big enough yet?" And he was hopeful. They had another look at the ox and shook their heads. "No, a bit more." So what these companions did, they saw the ox and said, "No, now you're not, as big as, so no, a bit more." तो अभी ox की जितने बड़े नहीं हुए हो, they tell the frog, "Need a bit more." So the ambitious frog kept on puffing itself up and up until it burst like a balloon. Okay, so what happens? This ambitious frog, this frog who wanted to be as big as an ox, it kept on puffing itself again and again, up and up, until what happened? Until it burst like a balloon. So everything in vain. So the moral of the story here says, do not make a fool of yourself to make others merry. Do not make fool of yourself to make others merry. This means now you see, the frog, he was just trying to show off a little bit, he was trying to make others merry, which means impress other people by becoming such a big animal like a fox. And then he asks his companions also, am I big enough? And they say, no, a bit more. So, they were enjoying themselves. To make others merry, the frog shouldn't have made a fool of himself. Similarly, the lesson says, do not make a fool of yourself to make others merry. You should be happy and satisfied in what you are, what you have, and just for others' merriness, others' entertainment, you shouldn't make a fool of yourself. Alright, so now this was the passage. Now we'll move to the questions. So here the question says, what did the frog decide to do? To fight an ox, to invite an ox, to become as big as an ox, or none of these? Let's see. The frog, even in the beginning itself, it says a frog decided to become as big as an ox. So the correct answer is C. To become as big as an ox. What did it do to become bigger? Started breathing in and in, shook its head, looked at the friends who made others happy. So what did it do to become bigger? Yeah. So it began to breathe in and in every time it swallowed more air. So began to breathe in and in. So A. Started breathing in and in. Okay, so here, what did its companions say? Let's see. Am I big enough yet? It asked hopefully to its many watching companions. They had another look at the ox and shook their heads. No, a bit more. So what did the companions say? They asked it to be a balloon, they asked the frog to puff more, or they asked it to become an ox? B. They asked the frog to puff more. So here, what happened to the ambitious frog? A. it became an ox, B, it became a balloon, C, it died, or D, it became merry. So here you see, so the ambitious frog kept on puffing itself up and up until it burst like a balloon. So what happened? It died. Here, what is the meaning of merry in the passage? So we know what merry means. Okay, let's see where merry was first. Do not make a fool of yourself to make others merry, which means to make others happy, right? कि दूसरों को खुश करने के लिए अपना, you shouldn't become stupid and act like an idiot. The Lion and the Bull. Now this is the next passage. Let's read. A lion prowled about in a pasture where 4 bulls were grazing. Okay, so there were 4 bulls who were grazing in a certain pasture and a lion prowled about there. Let's see what happens next. He tried many times to capture them, but each time he failed. So this lion, he was prowling about near this pasture where there were his targets. What were these targets? These bulls. So he tried many times to capture them, but he was failing again and again. Let's see then. Whenever he came near, the 4 bulls turned and formed a ring, so that no matter the way the lion approached, he was met by their horns. So what were these bulls doing? They were playing very smart. Whenever the lion was coming near, they turned and this formed a ring. So no matter which way, whatever this ring was formed, so if lion approached from this way or this way or this way or any other way, he would meet the horn of the bulls. Alright. Next. One day, however, the bulls had a quarrel and would not speak to one another. So one day what happened, suddenly these bulls, they had a fight amongst themselves and they did not speak to each other. So when friends usually have a fight, they the first thing they resort to is not speaking to each other. So then each went alone to a separate part of the pasture to graze. This was the moment the lion had been waiting for. So what happened? Now they had a fight. So in this pasture, when they were first in a ring, now all of them, they went in different spots. Okay, these different spots they were grazing in. So now lion was waiting for this moment only, that when they go differently. Here they were in a ring, and no matter which way the lion approached them from, he was met by the rings. But here this was the moment the lion had been waiting for. One by one he attacked the bulls and made an end of them. So here, as soon as he saw that all these are at different places, the lion then attacked all of them differently and made an end of them, killed them. So well fed and contented. Well fed and contented, matlab pet bhi bhar gaya and contented, happy also. The lion thought, those beasts would still be grazing had they remembered. United we stand, divided we fall. So now he gives us this moral which talks about the importance of unity, which means if we stand united, if we stand together, then it will be fruitful, it will help us. But if we become divided, if we have this tendency of separation, then we'll fall. All right, so this was the passage. Now let's move towards the questions. What did the lion try? A. To eat the grass, B. To capture the 4 bulls, C. To fight the bull, or D. None of these. So what did the lion try? The lion, here let's see, a lion prowled about in pasture where 4 bulls were grazing. He tried many times to capture them. So what was he trying? He was trying B. To capture the 4 bulls. Here, the lion could not catch the bulls because the bulls dash. A. Were united, B. Ran very fast, C. Were very brave, or D. None of these. And he could not catch these bulls. Why? Because you see, whenever he came nearer, the 4 bulls turned and formed a ring, so that no matter which way the lion approached, he was met by their horns. So what were they doing? They were acting in unity. So the lions could not catch the bulls because the bulls were united. Answer A. So one day all the bulls went in different directions because A, they wanted to see new pasture, or they wanted to search green grass, C, they had a quarrel, or D, all of these. Okay, so one day, however, here you see one day, however, the bulls had a quarrel and would not speak to each other. So then they went alone to separate part of the pasture to graze. So why did they go to different directions? Because see, they had a quarrel. All right. The lion killed all the bulls when they were dash, united, alone, sleeping, running. Now here, see, the bulls had a quarrel and each one went to a separate part. So this was the moment the lion had been waiting for. One by one, he attacked the bull and made an end of them. So he killed all the bulls when they were be alone. All right. Alright, so here we move to the next passage. This one is titled The Crow and the Lamb. Let's see. A crow saw that an eagle dropped down from the sky onto a lamb, caught it with its talons and flew straight back with it to its nest. So here what happens, now a crow is there, an eagle is there, and we have a lamb. So this crow is watching and he sees that this eagle who comes down from the sky and he sees to a lamb. He catches the lamb with its talons and flew straight back with it to its nest. So the eagle grabs the lamb and goes back to its nest. Okay, then the crow thought he would like to do the same and went out in search of a lamb. Now for this sort of acted like an inspiration for the crow. What he did, he thought he would like to do the same. And what he started doing, he went out in search of a lamb. तो वो भी lamb को ढूंढने निकल गया. Soon he came across one grazing in a field, and just like the eagle, the crow dove to capture the unsuspecting lamb between its claws. Okay, so now what happens? The crow thought that he will be doing the same. He was inspired by how eagle just grabbed the lamb and went away. But soon he decided that he's going to do the same. So he went to search for a lamb, and when he went to search for a lamb, he even found one. One was grazing in the field. So he tried to copy the eagle the same way, and he then dove right at the lamb to catch it between its claws. But the lamb was much too heavy for him, and what was worse, the crow's little claws got in the lamb's thick wool. The poor bird was trapped there. Okay, so here what happens? Now, crow ने decide तो कर लिया कि I'll act like an eagle and I'll just dove like the eagle did and then carry the lamb. But what happened? The crow is such a small bird in comparison to the eagle. So when he went and dove to catch that lamb was much too heavy for him. और उसके ऊपर what happened? Moreover, the claws of the crow, his claws, they got caught in lamb's wool, and that poor crow, he was trapped with his claws in the wool of the lamb. So then the shepherd saw the crow, caught it and put it in a cage. So now the shepherd, the one, the one who take the lambs to grazing, the one who owned the lamb, who had taken the lamb to grazing, that shepherd, he saw the crow and he caught it, and the crow was finally put in a cage. So the one who thought to imitate an eagle ended up being caged. Therefore, always think before you act. Now, this crow had actually thought of imitating the eagle. He thought, I can become an eagle as well. However, eagle did, I can do that as well. But in the end, he just ended up being caged, just trapped for life. So always the moral of the story we get is, think before you act. Alright. Now that's all for the passage. Now we move to the questions. Okay, the question says, what did the crow see? The crow saw an eagle with the lamb. The crow saw an eagle in its nest. The crow saw that an eagle had caught a lamb with its talons, or none of these. Let's see. Here, a crow saw that an eagle dropped down from the sky onto a lamb, caught it with its talons and flew straight back with it to its nest. So the answer is C. The crow saw that an eagle had caught a lamb with its talons. Right. The crow thought that it would become a friend of the eagle, would do the same as the eagle had done, or would eat the lamb. Okay, so here the crow thought that he would like to do the same. So B, he would do that, thought that it would do the same as the eagle had done. All right. Why could the crow not catch the lamb? The lamb ran very fast, the lamb was very heavy, or the lamb had thick wool. Now, why could the crow not catch the lamb? Let's see. Soon he came across one grazing in the field, and just like the eagle, the crow dove to capture the unsuspecting lamb between its claws, but the lamb was much too heavy for him. So why could he not catch the lamb? The lamb was very heavy. What did the shepherd do with the crow? A. He killed the crow. B. He put the crow in a cage. Or C. He left the crow in its nest. Let's see. The shepherd saw the crow, caught it and put it in a cage. So what did the shepherd do? He put the crow in a cage. B. What is the meaning of imitate in the story? A. To meet, to see, to call, or to copy. Now so the one you thought to imitate an eagle. Now imitating actually means copying. So what did the crow think? It thought to, copy the eagle. So he thought to imitate the eagle, we can say. Alright. Okay, here we have a poem now. We're going to read the poem and then we have to complete this summary of the poem by choosing the right options from the subsequent questions. Let's see. Wind. The title of the poem is Wind. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutter of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. So what the first stanza says. Now here we are addressing the wind and telling the wind that you should come softly. What wind usually does is it comes when wind is very we can say when it's very windy outside and there's this heavy wind. So what happens, even window shutters get broken, the papers get scattered, the books from the shelf fall down. So here we are telling the wind, don't break the shutters, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books. We're requesting the winds that, please don't do all this. And then there, look what you did. So what happened? The wind very heavy, very fast, and then look there, look what you did. You threw them all down. Still the wind didn't listen, and it was so heavy that eventually all this happened. So you tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. So here you see, although the wind is being requested to, not break the shutters, not scatter the papers, but eventually what the wind did? It threw them all. The pages were torn. Rain was brought again. Alright. Then you are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling horses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters. Crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So here we are saying again what the wind does. Telling the wind that you're very clever at poking fun at the weaklings. Which means what the wind does is it pokes fun at the weaklings. It takes advantages of the weak people. Like the houses, the crumbling doors, the rafters, wood, bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling heart. So the wind god winnows and wind eventually, crushes them all. All these weakling people and things. The wind crushes them all. Then he won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly, practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. So here what happens is, here now we're saying that he won't do what you tell him, which means we're talking about the wind. That the wind is not going to do what you tell him to do. So instead what you should do is, so come on, let's find a solution ourselves and do what? हम खुद ही अपने घर जो है हमें strong बनाने चाहिए. Let's build our own strong homes. जो doors हैं, we should close them firmly. Then we should practice to firm the body, steady रहना चाहिए, and we should be strong. So make the heart steadfast. We should make our hearts, our bodies, our hearts, everything strong. So when we do this, and the wind will be friends with us. Because why? The wind blows out only the weak fires. The wind only attacks the weak things and people. Here, if we make ourselves strong, the wind will be friends with us because it attacks only the weak people. Then he makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Wind comes softly. So what the wind does? The wind makes strong fires roar and flourish. It only attacks the weak people, and for the strong fires. Now you see, जो weak fire है, the weak, if there's this little fire over here, and हवा चली, suppose आपकी birthday की candle जो होती है, that's a weak fire, very small fire. हवा चल रही होती है, पंखा, fan is on and it blows out. But if there is this very large fire somewhere, so when the wind is strong, this fire in fact gets built up due to the wind. Alright, so here we are saying the wind makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. So we should be friends with the wind and we praise him every day. So wind comes softly. Alright, this was the poem. Now we will move on to the questions. here, let's start. The poet urges the wind to blow dash because. So how is the poet urging the wind to blow? Carefully, little, gently or violently. It has asked the wind to blow gently. We're saying now wind blow softly. Okay, so asking the wind to blow gently. And next, the poet urges the wind to blow gently because when it blows dash, it breaks the shutters of the windows. Okay. When it blows carelessly or harshly or slowly or calmly. So when does it break the shutter of the windows? When it blows B, harshly, right? When it blows harshly, it breaks the shutters of the window, dashes the paper here and there, and throws the book off shelf. So flings the paper here and there, upsets the paper here and there, or topple the paper here and there, or removes the paper here and there. So here, flings the paper here and there because paper gets scattered. So flings the paper here and there. Flings the paper here and there, with throws book off the shelf, dash their pages in the process. tearing their pages, breaking their pages, crushing their pages, or removing their pages? The answer is A, tearing their pages in the process. Okay. Okay, next. The poet chastises the wind for bringing in dash. Let's see what the wind brings in. Destruction, disturb, calm, or hail. So the poet chastises the wind for bringing in destruction. Poet describe किया ना कि wind आते तो क्या हो जाता है? The windows get broken, paper flings, books are thrown off, etc. All right. The wind dash and destroys the weak but gives dash. The wind throws the weak, the wind throws and destroys the weak, scarves and destroys the weak, crushes and destroys the weak, or breaks and destroys the weak. Now here the wind breaks and destroys the weak. Right, talk about how breaking certain weak doors and windows in houses, right? The wind breaks and destroys the weak but gives dash to the strong. What does the wind give to the strong? Stamina, strength, energy, or boost. So we talked about how the wind gives strength to strength to the strong. Alright. The wind will not be able to dash us if we make our bodies dash. The wind will not be able to harm us, endanger us, kill us, or lift us. Here, the wind will not be able to harm us if we make our bodies dash and our hearts steadfast. Alright. The wind will not be able to harm us if we make our bodies A strong, B fat, C large, D big. So the wind will not be able to harm us if we make our bodies strong. Instead, like a dash, it will help us to be strong and determined. So instead, like a comrade and a man, a thug or an owl. Instead, like a comrade. Comrade means a friend. So we learned now, when we should become wind's friend, by being strong people. Wind is the friend of strong people. So that's why. comrade, it will help us to be strong and determined. We will flourish in life, word, phrase or phrase. We will flourish in life. Alright. So with this, we finish off the questions on our reading comprehension. Alright. So
that's all for our class on comprehension. I hope you have understood the basic idea how these questions are going to be asked. You have to form your own particular strategy into, first either you'll read the passage first or you'll read the questions first. It's completely up to you, and this strategy you can form after multiple rounds of practice. So keep revising, keep practicing and keep learning. I will see you the next time.